Hi guys, welcome back to the Astrology. Today we are going to be doing our monthly reading. This is for the sign of Libra. You can watch this both from rising as well as from a moon sign perspective. Now, this April monthly reading is delayed, folks. Apologies. My dog has been hospitalized for the last few days and it has taken me some time to attend him and take care of him. Thank you for a lot of people who yesterday watched my Scorpio video and sending your wishes. Really appreciate that, guys. He's still recovering. He's back home. That is the good news. And that is the reason it has taken me some time because I've just been too caught up at my personal end. And this is what is supposed to happen. 29th March, we were talking about Saturn's transit to Pisces. So don't be surprised if things could get a little dicey, but improvement is on the way for all of us. It is not going to be stagnant. That is not going to be the impact that will stick along. And that is exactly what we're going to be discussing in today's video as well. Without further ado, guys, let's jump into the video. Look into the screen to understand what the planets entail for us in the month of April and how we can go ahead and rule this blueprint. Of course, as you guys can see on your screen, you have a cloud of planets that are still placed, shown, depicted on your sixth house itself into the sign of Pisces. As we look into the placements of these planets, we realize that Sun is in your sixth house until April 12th, and then he will be coming into the sign of exaltation for you guys from April 13th onwards. Sun happens to be the ruler of your 11th house. We'll deep dive into that in a bit. Mercury is in Pisces as well in its debilitation and retrogression. It will become direct from April 7th onwards, and Venus will become direct from April 12th onwards. Now, Venus is an exaltation which cancels out the debilitation of Mercury. The niche bhanga will come into play. And that is very important because both of these planets, once they become direct, it will make life simpler for you guys, Libras. A lot of things have been stuck at your end. Things haven't been moving the way you would have desired. Mercury happens to be the lord of your ninth house as well as your 12th house. From a ninth house perspective, that's an important, placement that he rules. And then, of course, Venus is your lugging lord. So it becomes hypercritical from that perspective. Mars, on the other side, has come out of the sign of Gemini and he is coming into its sign of debilitation. So it's moving from the ninth house to the 10th house placement. You are going to see some level of renewed energy coupled with lethargy as well. So we'll talk about that, and we have to see that how you can make best use of it. But Jupiter is going to be making a nakshatra transit for you. It is currently in the Rohini nakshatra ruled by Moon, and he is going to be moving into the Mrishara nakshatra, which is ruled by Mars, and he is going to be making that movement on April 10th itself. All right, my system gave some glitch. I went on speaking for 30 minutes, Libras, and I'm doing the recording yet again. Damn. So, coming back to the thought process, folks, I had to just literally rewind my thoughts now because I spoke for so long. And just when I thought I've recorded everything for you guys, Libras, I have to redo this. But Saturn is in Pisces. Finally, he moved into the sign in this combust mode. That combustion is something that is going to be coming out in the next few days. Of course, once the Sun also moves out into the sign of its exaltation, that will make a much better situation with Saturn and Sun being separated. But Saturn is in the sign of Jupiter. It's going to be coming into Uttara Nakshatra on April 27th. So that Nakshatra transit is extremely important from a Saturn perspective as well. Then Rahu is in, again, Jupiter's itself in Pisces, and Ketu is in the nakshatra of Sun, which is Uttara Falguni, and he's going to continue in that nakshatra itself as he transits into the sign of Leo as well. So first of all, to begin with, guys, your ascendant lord, who is Venus, he is also the lord of your 8th house. He is currently in exchange with Jupiter, who is the 6th lord. So it's an important Parivartan Yoga coming into play. But the ascendant lord being retrograded in the 6th house, it would have meant that if you've not been going through the right dashas, antardashas, this past few weeks could have added some more level of turbulence for you. Yet, the ability for you to put a fight, there would have been a lot of attempt because retrogression makes a planet with high cheshta bal. the intent of the planet is on a higher side, and Venus is it's a benefic planet. So that bit would have still been helpful for you folks. But I think once this retrogression comes to an end and the planet becomes direct, you are going to see a shift with the Parivartan yoga becoming more prominent for you. Now, you have to also understand that there are so many planets in your sixth house. Lagna Lord himself is in the sixth house. Yes, you will have to be dealing with challenges, obstacles, problems coming your way. I had called this out hopefully in my last video as well. Sorry, I'm also flushed with all the thoughts at this point in time. But from a health perspective, Libras, I recommend you to take proper care of yourself, both your emotional, mental, as well as your physical health at this point in time. There are so many planets clouded in one area itself. I wouldn't be surprised if there is pull a stretch in all directions for you, Libra. So you'll have to be watchful on that front. Even your Yog Karaka planet, which is Saturn, is also coming into combustion in this house itself, which means it'll take some time for you to fight weight of those problems. Yes, a good Shatru Hanta Yoga also comes into picture with that transit of Saturn. It's going to be a positive thing happening in for you, but your mental sanity will also be lost to a certain extent. Fourth Lord is going three places away into your sixth house. So you will have to find that balance somehow through the course in these next 2.5 years. Then Saturn is also the Lord of your fifth house. So there could be certain challenges that could come with respect to your romantic life, some difficulties there. But if the position of that Saturn is good in your natal chart, then I think you will see much more positive outcomes as well, because sixth house also represents Prarabdha to your fifth. That is important for you to understand. Now, from a romance perspective, whilst there is turbulence, from an education perspective, guys, please do not pursue or conclude on turbulence just on the negative side. That would be a glitch, but he will help you to wade off. He is a Yoga Karaka planet for you guys. So he'll help you to come out of those problems as well and repair it, do better. Okay. But from a competition standpoint, if you're a student watching this video, it is going to be an excellent period for you because it is going to help you succeed in those endeavors. It is, however, going to require some time. Let this Saturn settle into the place. A lot of you have given me messages. Saturn transit has happened. When is the magic happening? Guys, it's not that Saturn has arrived on 29th, on 30th onwards, everything is going to shift. It's going to be a slow transit movement and you have to let it slip into it. So that's what your expectation should be. I keep seeing these flurry of messages, so I just thought I must call this out for you folks. As I was referring, your Lagna Lord himself is here. He is also forming a Vipreet Raj Yoga, not only just the Parivartan, but Vipreet Raj Yoga as well. So you will find that you will bounce back, you will recover through the course of the month after some challenges. Week over week, there is going to be a continuous improvement. The graph is going to be on a better side for you. It is going to be on a rising scale. The slope is on the higher side. So that's a good thing for you guys, Libras. This Venus is going to become direct after Mercury becomes direct. Both of these planets are going to get in their progressive movement in first week and then second week respectively in April, which means that the debilitation cancellation of Mercury, which is happening, who is the Lord of your ninth house as well, he decides your destiny, your fate, as well as your 12th, is going to form some positive shape. People who are looking for new job opportunities, you could find some opportunities coming in there. You could get some positive favor. A lot of work is going to come from your bosses, from your superior seniors, but keep fighting it out, guys. That is what is expected during this phase. You are going to find some opportunities of getting promoted, positive movement happening there, especially if you are associated with any kind of international opportunities, import export related businesses. If you are employed in multinational corporations, that could also give you success. Opportunities for you to travel to different locations related to your work. Long distance travels specifically is what I'm referring to here, are going to fructify post April 12th, 13th onwards. You are going to see a definitive shift there. Now, Sun is also the Lord of your 11th house, and he is going to move 9 places away during the same phase itself. He is currently sitting in your 6th house. So, yes, there are certain challenges. It's an 8th movement for Sun coming into play right now. There are certain challenges, but it's not at all a negative placement of Sun, guys, because he is also forming that Chaturanta Yoga plus giving you the ability to ward off any kind of health situations that are coming your way. So it's going to be a good thing. At the end of the day, irrespective of Sun's lordship, he does denote the vitality in you, the strength in you. And his exaltation in the second half of the month is going to provide further impetus to the quality shift that you're going to see. Of course, he's going to be coming into your seventh house, which means that on positive scheme of things, so sorry, on positive scheme of things, you are going to find that your wish are going to get fulfilled, be it on professional matters related to businesses, or even if you are working as an employee, you are going to find some success coming in your way. But more importantly, you will have to be watchful with respect to your ego in your marriage, in your partnership, in your relationships. But would still be a rise. Your partner could see a growth in her or his career. Your partner could also be the reason for some kind of a wish fulfillment happening in your life. They could be the reason for helping you grow during this period. So you will have to find that balance. It's not that you have to play the role of the hero, of the protagonist every time in the relationship. It is your partner who could come up and step up for you as well. Otherwise, there is also a possibility them finding some promotional growth as well during this phase, because at the end of the day, it's about exaltation happening for them too. So your chart is the reason for them finding success during this period. So that's a good thing. You are bringing positivity into the life of your partner if you're already married. Now, ego check, extremely important. Please keep that in mind, or else it could be detrimental, because the sun is going to be giving a debilitated aspect to your lagna, to your ascendant, to your first house, which is a little critical, and I would want you to be watchful about it. Now, coming back to Mercury, as I was discussing, being the Lord of 12 could bring in some health related aspects into or health related expenses into picture. Please do proactive measures in terms of donations, charitable deeds and stuff. It is going to help you at the end of the day. It's very important. But remember, this Mercury is also giving an exalted aspect back into the 12th house. Yes, Venus is giving a debilitated aspect, but Mercury's aspect into the 12th house denotes that you could come in contact with some level of spirituality within yourself. You might also get associated with some sort of guru, some sort of leadership, some sort of new learnings, and that could impact the way you run your daily schedule. I just wanted you to be cognizant of that, because he's also the lord of your ninth house. So you see, this connection is happening on your day-to-day basis. It could impact you in a profound way. Coming back to Saturn for a bit, Saturn is going to be present more actively now from your fourth and fifth perspective into your sixth. We've done a detailed video on Saturn last week. If you've not had a chance, I will recommend you to guys go ahead and visit that and extract some bit of information for yourself there. Rahu, on the other side, is going to be causing some challenges for the next 2 months in conjunction with this Saturn. But guys, it is not as obnoxious as many people would believe. Rahu in sixth is a good placement. Like at this point in time, Libras, I do not see any reason for you to not overcome any challenges. Yes, there could be some level of confusion. Yes, there could be some level of discomfort as to how many things you have to deal with, how many issues are arising in your life. But at the same time, I feel that you would be fighting like a warrior and you would be overcoming those problems as well. Now you have to look at another important planetary movement, which is that of Mars. Mars is the lord of your seventh house. Seventh house is getting exaltation of Sun in the same month, but he also rules your second house. Pretty important place holding for Mars, and he is getting into debilitation. He was in a good situation for you guys in the ninth house, albeit in the sign of Gemini. But now, as your Mars moves into the 10th house, directionally, it gets an extraordinary placement coming into the 10th house itself. However, because Mars is in debilitation, you will have to keep a few things in mind. It is going to bring in a lot of renewed energy in yourself. It is going to help you embark on new competing projects. He's going 4 places away from itself. It's a good movement from that perspective. You are going to find peace whilst being engaged at your workplace. But at the same time, because it is in debilitation and giving a fourth aspect directly to your first house itself, you will have to be watchful with respect to your expression, your thought process. Please try to be assertive and not aggressive, because that is something which is highly prominent. And remember, your seventh house is getting an exalted sun. He is a mild malefic at the end of the day. So this placement of Mars and Sun can become a little tricky for you, Libras. And then the transit of Jupiter also in Mrigshira Nakshatra is happening. So that brings an additional layer of complexity with respect to your energies, with respect to your communication, with respect to your aggression, which is what is a warning that I would want to give from a relationship standpoint. You have to be watchful from that perspective. And when I say relationship, it could be your business relationships, it could be your marital relationship, your personal relationship for that matter. But at the same time, Mars presence into the 10th house is going to bring you a lot of energy. You are going to embark upon new initiatives. You are going to achieve and accomplish a lot of stuff in the next 2 months. This Mars is also giving an exalted aspect into Capricorn in your fourth house. Guys, this is an important one because whilst we are talking about all that aggression, it is also leading up to a couple of positive things. Yes, aggression is going to be there at your home, at your family place. So I cannot emphasize enough on the importance for you to keep a watch on how you're expressing yourself. But Mars is also going to give you an opportunity to go and expand something with respect to your assets, maybe acquire a new property, acquire a new asset, a new car, some kind of a vehicle, movable, immovable assets, intellectual property coming into play. So those things are also going to positively materialize for you. It's an exalted aspect of Mars. I anticipate some of you might be making some movements with respect to furnishing, doing some kind of construction activity, acquiring new property in itself. That bit is also coming into play. If you've had a chance to watch the Saturn video, I had called about the shifts also coming into your life. You might have to relocate into some place because Saturn is the lord of your fourth house. So you'll have to consider that particular bit too. Now, Mars is also giving an aspect to your fifth house. I would recommend you to be watchful with respect to your kids, with respect to your romantic partners and your relationships. Libras, relationships are primary for you. You are the sign that denotes relationships. You are the sign that denotes balance in life. So for you, it is going to be important that you do not lose that grip that you are good with. So that is the tricky bit with Mars, but I think overall it is going to give you that energy, that much needed energy that is been missing in the last few weeks. Now, Jupiter, he happens to be the lord of your third house and your sixth house sitting in your eighth. I think Mrikshatra movement for Jupiter is also not going to be bad. That the more important bit will be that once Venus, your Lagna lord, becomes direct, that is when you are going to truly enrich and utilize the Parivartan Yoga of the sixth and the eighth energies there. I think the only planet that I'm comfortable with sitting the eighth house is Jupiter. You would have heard me say this in several of the videos. You understand the impact that this creates. Yes, there is a debilitated impact of this Jupiter into your fourth house, but it's giving a good aspect into your second house and your 12th. I think there will be some measures you will take from a spiritual standpoint. Some kind of connection, enlightenment is going to continue to happen for you. But this is also the time that you might continue to save on that aspect. Savings might diminish because of the debilitation of Mars, but they will improve back once Jupiter is transiting. So it's a matter of 6, 7 days. I'm anyways delayed thanks to the health situation of my dog to record this video. Else, this was supposed to be out at least 4 days back. But the point I'm trying to make is that once that shift happens, you are in a much comfortable situation. So, Libras, my call out to you guys would be that week over week in the month of April, you are going to see a positive shift. The graph is on the higher side from a relationship standpoint, unmarried romantic relationship perspective. Please maintain some calm. Do not get into argumentative situations. Do not get into any kind of egotistical issues. From a health standpoint, you are going to see improvements if you've been struggling. If not, I recommend you to keep working towards that cautiously, actively, because that is an important call out for the month of April, as well as, in fact, I'm going to repeat this in May as well. The good bit is that from a professional perspective, career perspective, you are going to see a shine come across. You are going to see some promotions coming in your way, some sort of a growth come in your way. And that is going to be the positive thing. Yes, very importantly, any wishes, any gains that you've been hoping for, desiring that you want to accomplish, there is a high chance you are going to get that fulfillment in the second half, in the later part of the month. So keep tight, keep working hard, and keep watching Dave Astrology. If you've enjoyed watching this video as well, I will request you to please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dave Astrology.